Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Midweek update, uranium, looking at the ETFs, looking at some ratios, looking insanely good. We might be in for some short-term pause here, consolidation, beautiful, fine, that's to be expected. But the uranium miners is definitely kicking into gear. We turned bullish late summer 2023 after that falling wedge broke to the upside. And funny enough, until 2 weeks ago, that's when a lot of other people turned bullish. Again, the move already started half a year ago. So, as always, like, subscribe, and also if you have any recommendations to how to improve the channel, do I speak too quickly? Is the quality okay? Is the sound okay, first of all? Anything, let me know, and I will happily see if I can improve so I can get you the best sort of, what to say. So you get the best or the most out of what I'm trying to show you, what I think about the markets. As always, what I show here, yes, it's boring, I have to say it. It's just how I see it. I could be right, I could be wrong, whatever. I don't know. But at least that's how I see the markets. And I trust my trading system. I trust my investing system. And yeah, that's all you really can do. If you can't trust your own, who can then? So that is what it is. So we will look at the beautiful sector that is uranium that will give a good reward at the end of the day. It's already doing it now. It has already done that, ever since late 2020. It will keep on giving, in my view, and we are not even close to the highs. It will be a wild ride. That is a given. But if you can stomach it and maybe try to time your exit close to the top, you will not find the peak. Maybe you'll get out 20% before the top or 30%. Still, that's an amazing, amazing job to do. And it's very difficult, by the way. So spot price. Now, looking at $106 uranium, I call for some sort of, resistance, some sort of bounce at the $100 level. You're going from 2 digits to 3. You're also getting into a gap here over from 2007, where we gapped down from 130 down to 100. But again, as you can see here, we're actually coming straight into the gap. It is my clear take that we are going to fill that gap at 130. When and how, that can be tricky. But again, every single, resistance that we're coming into is basically, we're just sliding, right through that without any major obstacle or anything. It is kind of amazing. So now, since we're in the gap here, we're also getting very stretched at this point in time. So again, I'm really hoping for that we could actually just straight up close the gap and then just do sideways consolidation for like a half a year. I think that would be a lot more healthy, and just to regain some power, some strength, and yeah, definitely very difficult to do any technical trading when you're in some sort of this move kind of blow off top stage. Not the long term. I think we're going way higher than 130. But for this move here, I think we're at the end of that move, and I really hope that we start to see some sort of bullish consolidation, only to just regain strength and blast higher. But uranium price is a very scarce market, and what you saw happen in 2008, the price just kept going up and up and up, and there was just no pauses, no nothing, until we eventually crashed. So that is why I would love to have these steps that we can have as a base and then go higher, instead of having that huge move up and then boom, just come crashing down again. I want to have some sort of stability to the chart. That is actually better for the miners. That's better for you, for your investments. And yeah, long talk. Uranium spot price looks fantastic across the board. URA last week did take out a long-term golden trend line. When I'm saying that it is a long-term golden trend line, in my view, when I say golden trend line, and also if it's long-term, that means that is probably one of the trend lines that has the most importance to the chart or to the current formation that we're in. We have it coming across here, the 2021 highs. We tagged it right there, boop, and we popped back up again. So what's happening now? We are actually at the 2021 highs. Looking at the daily, we're getting a bit of some sort of retesting done here to that golden trend line. Beautiful. Let's have some sideways action for until mid-February, and then we can go higher. Beautiful. I mean, my case for this move is unchanged. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. I mean, we just have that tiny little bit of actually the last kind of resistance here at roughly 32, the 2021 highs. When we get through that, in my view, it is open skies to the highs, really. We have a gap over here again from the Fukushima that will get filled, in my honest opinion. And yeah, let's just, again, just like the uranium prices, let's have, like 2-3 weeks of sideways action here. Again, I don't know if that will happen, but if we do, I would be very pleased, because then we have more power. The chart has reset in order to looking at the moving averages. I just prefer that again. But again, it could also just be, we broke out, retesting, and now we are away. So I mean, I'm happy with either two. I do prefer, a bit of a pause and then we go higher. That's more long term. It's better to have that. URNM, which is a 100% pure play uranium ETF. And I think if you are to invest into it, I think having like 50, 60, 70% into URNM, and then you can put the rest into the miners that you think will outperform it. I think that's a good play. The only downside is that in some countries you have an extra tax on ETFs. So if you have that, maybe that's not the best idea. I know we have that in Denmark. Of course, we have it in Denmark. We are one of the most heavy taxed countries in the world. So why not have a tax on ETFs? I mean, why not? Stupid. It is what it is. Yep, we turn bullish here, right there, late summer, August, July here. And it's not until recently right there that Twitter blew up. At least my Twitter did. We have taken out the 2021 highs. Beautiful. Again, here we have a breakaway gap here. I do actually prefer that gap. Just let's close it, retest it, and then we go higher. That would be the most constructive and it is best for the chart to have that gap closed, and then we go higher. I hate to have a gap down here, and if we get into the future, I have to worry about that breakaway gap. Does it get closed? Does it not get closed? Blah, 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 blah. Let's just close it now, and then we can forget about it, and we can move on. But again, it is a breakaway gap that does get closed less often than regular gaps. So take that as you may, but definitely same thing here again, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. And the uranium miners has a lot of catching up to do when you're looking at the overall commodity uranium spot price. So URNJ, we don't have much data, but this is a strong looking chart. I will not go to detail. That is just absolutely fantastic. Breaking to the upside here again, showing huge momentum. And yeah, we are at all-time highs. There's no, past history resistance. Beautiful. I mean, it's just beautiful. URNM against the spot price, one of the most important charts that there is. Tagged it once, twice, 3 times, and we're getting a bounce here. Now we want to climb. We really want to climb here again. But this to me looks like we have completed that pattern there. 1 to 5 move. This should be some sort of move to the upside. Again, nothing is set in stone, but definitely I hope we get a bigger bounce than this. Again, the red candle you see here this week is not actually uranium miners going down a lot. That's just still the spot price going up even more. That's amazing as it sounds. XLE against URNM. I have removed some lines again. We are just having lower lows and lower highs across the board. And every bit of, small retrace is just yet another time to roll over. I do think we will visit the 2021 highs. I've said that many times. And yeah, to me, this looks like some sort of rounding top. When we get down here, we might get a bump for like an inverted cup and handle play, and then down we go, really. That's my honest opinion on this one. URNM against overall commodities. Yes, we talked about it. We are going to visit the 2021 highs. We did, and we're getting rejected here. Let's see what happens. Definitely, there were some sellers there in the ratio, and we have a gap to fill here. Again, like all the other stuff here, we're getting to here. Hopefully, we could get some sort of handle, or we can get a bull flag, whatever. Let's just rest here for some time. Again, that's also why I'm saying that, the remaining of January, maybe the entire February for the URNM for the miners. Let's just pause, go sideways, then we go higher. It's much more constructive that way. And also, people also on Twitter, regular people investing, when a stock hasn't moved in like 14 days, they're bored and they sell. They're just like, this is not for me, and they sell. And then we need to get these people out of the way so they can buy back in again when it is a lot higher, and then they will do the same over and over again. We need those people to get out of the stocks or the ETFs in this case, not this case, but the miners, and then we can go higher. It is the cycle repeats all over and over and over again. URNM against Bitcoin, quite interestingly, this is Bitcoin, URNM divided by Bitcoin. Huge breakdown here, retesting. We're now actually back into this overall mega bear flag right there, retesting from the upside, from the top side there. You can see on the daily retesting. Again, we're not home safe, but if we start to get moving here, you know what this means. It means that this could be a false breakdown, and then we could actually see the uranium miners outperform Bitcoin heavily. Again, this doesn't mean that the uranium miners is going to the moon. Boom, by the way, it could also be that Bitcoin looks like it could drop to 32K, 31K maybe if it drops from certain levels here. And that could also be that the uranium miners just stand still. But since Bitcoin is dropping, you get, that spike up right there. So constructive, failed retest for now. Now we have a smaller retest from the top that we need to hold. So again, very early to call this one here. We need to see what happens over the next 14 days or so, give or take. URNM against the Nasdaq, beautiful stuff. I love this stuff here again. That ceiling here, you can see, is about to get blown off. If we are doing what I think we're doing here, bull flagging on top of that golden small minor trend line right there. And now we're above, retesting the highs more or less. I mean, if this has legs to it, that means that URNM is outperforming Nasdaq, meaning more money is seeking URNM, the miners, compared to the Nasdaq, because they can clearly see, if we start to move here, right, they can see, all right, it is better to be in uranium miners than the Nasdaq right at this moment. So if people have money, they want to allocate, and they're looking at, should I choose the tech or uranium miners? They put up the ratio chart and they say, uranium miners it is. And so this is it's a big deal, actually. It shouldn't be underestimated. Same thing here again for URNM against the SPY. Same thing again, breaking out a bit higher. But anyways, we also have that breakout there. And then into the bull flag, and we're going higher again. So right here, right now, if people were to look at the ratio, uranium miners or the SP 500, people will say, oh, definitely uranium miners, because they're going to outperform. And that doesn't mean that SPY is going down. It just means that URNM is outperforming it and doing better, even though the SPY goes up. So two important ratios to keep an eye on all the time. Also, if you're into different sectors, you should also have that ratio. It could be biotech, it could be whatever. In this case, it is XLE against the SPX. You want the overall energy to outperform SPX. Breakdown, retest, didn't quite hold, and now we're rolling over again. So definitely, if people were to look at this at XLE and SPX right now, as where we stand here, they will pull money into SPX until we get some sort of reversal, and then they can rotate out and back in again. So it is always money flowing back and forth between the different sectors. And now XLE is definitely underperforming the SPX. I do think in the future, depending on how we go, that it will change. There's no doubt in my mind that energies will do insanely well. Oil and gas, yes, will do insanely well once again. And for oil, I think we are closer to the bottom than the top. Uranium spot price against, this is gold, still just keep grinding higher. Beautiful. I mean, I've called for a goddamn retest for years. It is so strong right now, the uranium spot price, and it is difficult to sell when these kind of blow off top kind of moves will stop. That's very difficult. But again, I mean, the inverted head and shoulders target here is roughly up here, so we still have a lot to go before we get to there. Same thing for silver, again, just blasting higher. No retesting, just left the long term, the 15-year long base, and then boom, blasted higher. Didn't look back. Again, usually you see that retest. But again, I've called it here, and it just went higher and higher. But I do think, as mentioned, gold and silver will have a tremendously good 2024. So maybe we will have that when silver really starts to get moving above 26, 30, and then into 40s, in my view, that we can have that reset of the ratio. Again, this doesn't mean that uranium spot price will go down. It just means that silver is just blasting at that moment in time. Very quickly, some miners. Fine here, breaking out of that squeeze. Beautiful, beautiful. Every pullback in my view should be bought. Yes, I'll do this very quickly because I did the video yesterday, I think, or the day before on yesterday on US miners. Forces Metals here again, breaking out of a lot of good stuff right here, breaking out, getting into the triangle high there, but definitely this is a very bullish setup for Forces Metals. ISO also looking really, really good, breaking out of that golden there into a pendant squeeze, now going higher, big resistance at roughly 5, but definitely also looks really constructive here. Again, that could be some inverted head and shoulder stuff. Laramide breaking a 16-year long trend line as we speak. Last week it broke it. That golden trend line is now broken. Next resistance is 1.1, the triangle high, and then finally we have not finally, but then we have a big resistance at 3, which I think we'll meet. Mega uranium breaking out of its long-term base for like 12 years. The target, in my view, the max greed target is roughly up there. We are now at 0.5. It could go to 3.3. That is the distance. And that's why I get that measured move. But again, a long-term base has been broken, downtrend over, basing over, uptrend fully intact for mega uranium. Every dip, bull flag, however you do this stuff, should get bought up immediately as we speak, as long as we hold these lows right there. UROI also looks really, really good. Look at that weekly candle. Beautiful, beautiful for UROI. Energy fuels again, bit of a lag here again, but I think when we break that upper yellow triangle right there, it is rocket ship higher for energy fuels as well. Just lagging here, to my surprise, really, yes. But I have a lot higher prices for energy fuels. I actually have a target of 80, excuse me, and maybe even higher. So it depends on how it will look when we get there. But definitely energy fuels is lagging. It will join the party at some point in time. So that is all. Uranium looks really, really good. Let's have a 1 month worth of sideways price action for the miners, and then we go higher. I would prefer that. As mentioned, have a great day, guys. As always, leave a comment. Anything, I'll happily look into that. Bye.